Hello, friends. Welcome to my YouTube channel, please. Sports Me.
The ocean does not announce war. There are no sirens, no warning shots, no visible borders. There is only silence, broken by radar pulses, sonar echoes, and steel hulls cutting through endless water. Somewhere in the vast Pacific, two of the most powerful naval forces in human history are watching each other. One has ruled the seas for decades. The other is rising faster than anyone expected. This is not a story about ships alone. This is the story of power, strategy, fear, and the future of global control. For nearly 80 years, the United States Navy has dominated the world's oceans. After World War II, no other force came close. American aircraft carriers became floating air bases. Nuclear submarines turned the deep sea into a battlefield. Supply ships, intelligence networks, and overseas bases allowed the U.S. Navy to operate anywhere on Earth. From the Cold War to the War on Terror, the oceans belong to Washington. But history never stands still, and power never goes unchallenged. At the turn of the 21st century, China looked outward and saw a weakness it could no longer afford. Its economy depended on sea trade. Its energy flowed through narrow maritime choke points. Its rivals controlled the waters around its borders. For decades, China's navy was designed only to protect its coastline. That was no longer enough. Beijing made a decision that would change the balance of power in the Pacific forever. China would build a navy capable of challenging the strongest maritime force on Earth. Shipyards began working day and night. Budgets expanded. New destroyers, frigates, corvettes, and submarines rolled into the water at a pace the world had never seen. In less than 20 years, China built the largest navy by number of ships. Headlines followed. Analysts warned of a shifting balance. But raw numbers can be deceiving because naval power is not measured only by how many hulls float on the surface. The U.S. Navy does not build ships for coastal defense. It builds them for global dominance. Every American warship is designed to operate thousands of miles from home, supported by a massive logistics network that keeps fleets supplied for months at sea. A U.S. destroyer is not just a ship, it is a missile platform, an air defense node, and a sensor hub connected to satellites, aircraft, submarines, and allies across the world. This is the invisible strength behind American naval power. Aircraft carriers are often seen as symbols, but in reality, they are strategic weapons. China now operates multiple aircraft carriers, an achievement that took decades of effort. These ships represent ambition and progress, but they are still evolving platforms. Carrier operations require complex coordination, years of pilot training, and real-world experience. The United States has been doing this continuously since World War II. Its carrier strike groups have launched combat missions in Korea, Vietnam, the Middle East, and beyond. Experience cannot be built overnight. Beneath the waves lies another dimension of power. Submarines are the most dangerous warships ever created. Silent, hidden, and lethal, they decide wars without being seen. The U.S. Navy operates nuclear-powered attack submarines capable of staying underwater for months, striking targets on land or at sea. China has invested heavily in submarines as well, especially diesel-electric boats designed for regional defense. In the confined waters near China's coast, these submarines are a serious threat. In the open ocean, however, nuclear submarines still hold the advantage. Geography plays a silent but critical role in this rivalry. China operates close to home, protected by land-based missiles, aircraft, and radar systems. This strategy is known as anti-access and area denial. Its goal is simple: keep enemy forces at a distance and make intervention costly. The United States, on the other hand, must project power across the Pacific, thousands of miles from its mainland. This is a challenge, but it is one the U.S. Navy has trained for over generations. Technology shapes modern naval warfare, but doctrine decides how that technology is used. The U.S. Navy emphasizes joint operations, integrating Air Force, space assets, cyber warfare, and allied navies into a single combat system. China is rapidly improving in this area, learning from exercises, simulations, and observation. But real combat experience matters, and this is one area where the difference remains stark. The U.S. Navy has operated under fire in real wars. China has not fought a major naval conflict in modern times. Logistics is the hidden backbone of naval power. Ships without fuel, ammunition, or maintenance are useless. The United States maintains a vast network of overseas bases, friendly ports, and replenishment vessels. This allows American fleets to sustain long-term operations far from home. China is expanding its logistics reach, building ports and access agreements across the Indo-Pacific and beyond, but it is still in the early stages of global sustainment. Allies also shape the balance of power. The U.S. Navy does not operate alone. Japan, South Korea, Australia, NATO countries, and then regional partners regularly train and operate with American forces. These alliances multiply strength, share intelligence, and complicate any potential conflict for an adversary. China, while growing in influence, does not yet possess a comparable network of naval allies. So who is stronger? The answer depends on the question being asked. In a regional conflict close to China's shores, the balance becomes far more complex and dangerous. China's missile forces, submarines, and land-based air power would pose serious risks. In a global contest of sea control, sustained operations, and worldwide presence, the U.S. Navy still holds the advantage. But the most important truth is this: war is not inevitable. Both sides understand the cost of conflict at sea. Modern naval warfare would be fast, destructive, and unpredictable. Ships would be lost. Lives would be changed forever. The ocean would once again become a battlefield, not of glory, but of consequence. The real power balance between China and the U.S. Navy is not just about ships or technology. It is about decision-making, restraint, and strategy. It is about understanding that dominance does not mean victory, and strength does not guarantee control. The future of the oceans will be decided not only by steel and firepower, but by choices made far from the water's edge. As the world watches the Pacific, one truth remains clear. The sea remembers every empire that believed it could never be challenged, and it remembers how quickly that belief can fade.